Mornye's role in your team building is to provide buffing capabilities that are not restricted by damage types or attributes, provide sustained capabilities, and does well enough damage that can certainly improve your clear times. But one of her buffs have huge limitations that can be fixed by having Lene, which comes with its own set of problems, but having S1 basically fixes everything. In today's video, I'm going to break down Mornye's kit to make it very easy to understand how she works, how much of a damage boost she provides to liberation damage dealers like Yuno and Shangli Yao when paired with Lene, and off-meta team compositions featuring DPS units like Jian and Carlotta versus their best-in-slot teams at S0 R1, best weapons per my testing, and finally, her best sequences. Before we proceed any further, I want you guys to keep in mind that every footage used in this video was captured on the creator server, so some things may be subject to change upon official release. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Mornye's Forte circuit. She has this Forte bar right here that you need to fill up with orange stacks by doing basic attacks, and you don't have to hit the enemy to generate it. She can perform up to 4 basic attacks, but the third stage generates full Forte stacks, so don't bother with the fourth one. You only have to do ground basic attacks once during your endgame run, which will make sense when we get into the intro skill. Her skill when she's on the ground puts her in a parry state that heals all teammates, ignores all incoming damage, attack the enemy in return when hit, and generates full Forte stacks. You'll barely use this during your endgame runs because the animation is too slow, which wastes precious time. With full Forte stacks, hold basic attack and she'll transition into flight mode and generates a domain. In this domain, all active resonators receives healing every 3 seconds, gains 50% off-tune build-up rate, which is a fancy term for faster off-tune level regeneration, and finally, the active resonator gains increased anti-interruption. Don't rely too much on this anti-interruption because it's very minimal and can only prevent interruptions from light attacks from enemies like this one from Light Crusher. So it's not as strong as Jian's or Shangli Yao's when they cast their liberation. She can do 3 basic attacks in the flight mode, and the third one gives her 20 concerto energy from this passive. But some aggressive enemies can prevent you from using the third basic attack much faster due to the interruptions or dodges, which gets fixed by S1 and gives her 100% anti-interruption. The flight mode basic attacks and a special skill that she has access to now regenerates blue Forte stacks. The skill has a long animation and dash cancelling it will make you lose a lot of blue Forte stacks, so it's better if you don't dash cancel unless you really need to dodge. After flight mode, just use her skill and spam basic attacks to the third stage, which fully regenerates the blue Forte stacks. Now hold the basic attack button to use her Forte circuit, which applies a special marker on the enemy. Cast her liberation right after to do damage and improve the domain she generated earlier. It retains all the properties of the first one, duration gets extended, provides more healing, and increases everyone's defense by 20%. When the enemy with the special marker is hit with Tune Break while having Tune Rupture or Tune Strain shifting applied on them, everyone in the team gains 40% damage bonus for 8 seconds if Mornye has 260% energy regen, which is indicated by this new mark on the enemy. Since the 8 seconds duration is too short for most DPS in the game, I recommend tune breaking with the DPS before you start doing damage so that they get to have all the 8 seconds. Some enemies like Mega Abomination can also prevent you from using Tune Break for a long period of time, which can hurt your damage even more, but S1 also fixes that. Ultra Skill. Everyone gets 25% all attribute damage amplification, which is 10% higher than Shorekeeper's, Verina's, and Bulin's. Intro Skill. Casting an intro skill will send her right into flight mode, and she gains 20 concerto energy, so you don't need to do any ground basic attacks after the first rotation. Tune Break. Just like Lene, if anyone in the team triggers Tune Break while having Tune Rupture shifting applied on them, Mornye responds with Fusion Tune Rupture damage. But if the enemy had Tune Strain shifting, triggering Tune Break boosts Mornye's damage by 6% per Tune Strain interfered stack. Mornye can add another stack of Toon Strain Interfered, so that means you can have 3 Toon Strain Interfered stacks on the enemy after 3 Toon Breaks, which grants her a total of 18% damage bonus. She's not really meant to do damage unless you have higher sequences, so stick with Toon Rupture Shifting Lene. Team Building. I tested S0R1 Mornye with Shang Liao and Yuno when all of Mornye's buffs were active. Then compare the difference in damage when Showkeeper was used as a Mornye replacement. Shang Liao encountered a damage loss of 8.9% in the Showkeeper team, and Mornye's team cleared faster by 8 seconds because Lumpy Lumen's off-tune lock duration was not that long, so I was able to trigger Mornye's buff by tune breaking the enemy twice in that run. Yuno encountered a damage loss of 11.6% in the Showkeeper team, and both runs had the same clear time of 61 seconds because Mech Abomination had insanely long off-tune lock duration, so I was able to trigger Mornye's buff once in that run, which allowed the Showkeeper team to keep up. I also tested 2 off-meta team compositions as well, and compared their damage to their best-in-slot teams before version 3.0, since Mornye and Lene can be played with almost any DPS. Jian encountered a damage loss of 2.7% in the Showkeeper team, and the Mornye team cleared 16 seconds faster than the Showkeeper team, mostly because Lene helped increase the team's overall damage output. But Mortefi's damage was really low in the Showkeeper team. Carlotta encountered a damage loss of 8.9% in the Showkeeper team, and the Mornye team cleared 13 seconds faster than the Showkeeper team, mostly because Lene's personal damage is much higher than Jeji's, and Lene was also receiving a little bit of help from the 10% Spectral Resistance Shred. So from the personal damage increase of all the DPS units I tested, it's clear that even in off-meta team compositions, with bosses preventing you from tune breaks, Mornye's buffing capabilities exceeds Showkeeper's in every way. But the bad news is that you need to optimize the DPS echoes to get decent crit ratio, since Mornye does not provide any crit rate buff so that you can prevent crit vision and keep your sanity during your endgame runs. I'll provide a full showcase and break these runs down much further in separate videos, so be sure to look forward to them. Now let's cover her build. Weapon priorities will be based on this sheet right here, which is a record of the damage output from the best alternative broadblades. Discord broadblade should be the first alternative. It provides concerto energy, which is good to shorten her field time, and really decent energy regen substat, so if you run double energy regen, you only have to get 25% energy regen from echo substats. You will encounter a damage loss of about 7% compared to her signature weapon, as you can see right here from Shang Liao's Liberation. The last option if you don't have Discord Broadblade is the Broadblade 41. You will spend more time on the field when using this weapon since the passive does not provide any concerto energy, and the low energy regen substats of 32% means that you'll need to get 44% energy regen from substats when running double energy regen 3 cost. I recorded the same damage as Discord Broadblade for Broadblade 41 because the extended rotations will make you do the same damage as Discord if you manage to get the 260% energy regen, but over a long period of time due to the lack of concerto energy from the passive. For her echoes, Rejuvenating Glow and Halo of Starry Radiant are all viable, and there are 3 possible builds you can go for. For damage, run defense 4 cost, fusion damage bonus 3 cost, energy regen 3 cost, and double defense 1 cost. Fusion damage bonus not only increases the damage from her liberation, but also increases the tune rupture damage after tune break. For healer build, run healing bonus 4 cost, defense 3 cost, energy regen 3 cost, and double defense 1 cost. For a no stress hybrid build, run defense 4 cost, double energy regen 3 cost, and double defense 1 cost. Substats priority will be energy regen and liberation damage bonus. Talent priority will be Forte Circuit, Liberation, and Skill. You can leave intro and normal attacks. Rotations. I'll be covering the rotations for the Yuno team composition. Here's the build that I'm running on all teammates.
Got a long bucket list. Good thing I've got time to check every box.
We first start with Yuno skill 1 and 2 to help generate more Forte stacks and extend her field time when doing damage. Here, I swapped to Lene to use her skill by cancelling Yuno's skill 2 animation, but you can skip it and use Lene's skill after her intro skill. Swap to Mornye and basic attack until she has full orange stacks. Heavy attack, skill, and basic attack 3 times to get the 20 concerto energy. Hold basic attack to use her forte circuit, liberation, echo skill, and intro with Lene. Cast her liberation, hold heavy attack until she attacks the enemy automatically, jump 3 times, press basic attack to plunge, skill to dropkick the enemy, echo skill, and intro with Yuno. Press her enhanced skill to get the 40 stacks, but dash to cancel the animation to speed up the rotation.
Psycho.
Now jump, tune break, echo skill, press skill 2 times, and cast her liberation. Now you can spam basic attacks until her 40 stacks are completely depleted. Once they are depleted, hold your basic attack button, press it again to plunge, press skill 2 times, and intro with Mornye to repeat the rotation. Sequences. S1 fixes everything. She gets full anti-interruption when in flight mode, doesn't depend on Lene anymore. The buff duration has also been extended to 20 seconds instead of 8 seconds, and everyone gets the buff after using her forte circuit when the light beam animation hits the enemy. S2 gives everyone 32% crit damage, and everyone gets an additional 20% off-tune build-up rate, which is insane but still useless against Mech Abomination. S3 allows you to skip the basic attacks in the flight mode because you now get full blue stacks after casting the skill available in flight mode. S4 buffs the healing that the domain can give you. S5 makes the liberation hit much harder, and the tune rupture damage after triggering tune break when the enemy is inflicted with tune rupture shifting also hits much harder. S6 turns the liberation into an atomic bomb, and she can now regenerate resonance energy passively when she's not engaged in combat. The second part is only useful in the overworld. That'll be all for my Mornye character breakdown. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help support the channel because it's free and you can always change your mind. My Buy Me a Coffee link will be in the description if you would like to support me in any way. Our Discord link will also be in the pinned comment if you're having any issues with the game, help with your build, or you just want a place to chill or hang out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.